ULEAD Junior Cards have been developed with elementary educators who have told us over and over that they need ways to engage kindergarten through 6th grade students. And so these cards have activities. There are 9 elements on the cards and over 80 activities to engage students in that age group with social and emotional learning, with academic enhancement activities, and many ways for them to enter into a classroom culture that is positive. In addition, we've heard from the teachers that they need to be durable. They cannot be destroyed immediately, and we call these also with the coating to be booger-proof and smear-proof. These are very durable cards, which are needed for that age group. If you're looking for something to truly build that classroom culture and to engage students, K to 6, these cards are for you. So we're focusing on the image element on the ULEAD Junior card, and one of the ways that we love to use this element is an activity called Pass the Pencil. And so right now there's a picture of this lion, and the way this activity works is you get students in a small group. They all have like one sheet of paper or cardstock, and they're all going to write one line or one sentence based on the picture. So with this lion that is before us right now, an example of this would be, if I'm starting it out, I would put a number 1, and I would say, "This is Leo the lion." I would pass this to the next student over, and they would say, "Leo is very hungry today." And it would continue on all through the group until at the end they would have a story that they are writing and telling. So this is great for writing skills and for creativity and for collaborating together with students. So we're focusing on the letter element on the ULEAD Junior cards. There are many activities, but one that we like to do is called Spell It Out. And so if a teacher or a youth worker is trying to work to help kids with spelling, they can pass out cards to all the students, and then they can give a spelling word, and then the students have to look at their card, and if they have a letter in that word, they come up to the front of the room, and then they have to arrange themselves in the order. So the cards I have laid out right now spell the word dog, and so students have to recognize letters, and then they actually come up like to the front of the room or a class if their letter is a part of the word that is part of the vocabulary that day.
So I'm sure you all remember the game memory. With our cards, we have an opportunity to play a game called 9-card flip. It focuses on the 1, the element of the number, and 2, the element of the emotion. Let's first talk about the element of the number. How this activity would work is, as you see, that each card has 1, 2, 3, 4. These cards would then be flipped over, and participants would then attempt to flip the cards over in a numerical fashion. If they flip the card over, oh, bam, 2. Hey, 2 is not 1, so that card goes back over until they find the number 1. Imagine kids or adults running back and forth, cheering each other on, flipping these cards over until they finally get 1 through 9. After that, we can go deeper. We are able to engage and have a deeper conversation. As I pointed out before, all of our cards have the element of an emotion. Each card has an emotion word, and then you're able to actually have a deeper conversation. Say we want to talk about being frightened. What things happen to us? How do we feel? How do we react when we're frightened? So this activity allows us, using the emotion word, to have deeper conversation and focus on social and emotional learning.
So the top of each of the junior cards is an animal word. There are 9 types of animals and 4 of each type. So just like the original deck or the career deck, there are 9 types of animals, but unlike the original deck or the career deck, there are only 4 of each type of animal rather than 6, for a total of 36 cards in the junior deck. One benefit to these elements is they're a great way to get students up, moving around. If you need a brain break or practice movements, an energizer, anything of that nature, the animal icon can be of help there. If you look over on the left-hand bottom side of each of your junior cards, you're going to have a movement word on that card. This element is great for physical activity, mixers, getting students to know each other. One way that we like to use this element is in an activity called Move It, Move It. You make sure that each person in your classroom or group has a card. Draw their attention to that movement word and invite them as music plays or when you say go for the next 2 minutes to move about the space, making that movement action as many times as possible. Or you can also add a variation, and when you shout switch, students will exchange cards with other students, therefore taking on a new movement and moving about the space in that way. This is one of a few ways you can use the movement element on the junior cards. One way we like to use the question element on the junior cards is an activity called Move It If It's True. The way to run Move It If It's True is to take your card deck, place them face down or question down in the center of a circle. Invite the rest of the group to sit. You can circle up chairs, or if you want to use spot markers, create a circle and have one spot marker or one chair in the center of that circle. Invite the whole group to sit down. By necessity, there will be one student in the center. Invite that student to pick up a card, read the question, and answer the question for themselves. If that question, or if the answer to that question rings true for others in the circle, they are going to need to get up and move to a different space. Make sure to reiterate that they need to move slowly, no running, tripping, pushing, so no one's falling or colliding into each other, but they will move to a new open space. If there are no open spaces in the circle around, then that person will come to the center, take a card, read the question, answer the question, and repeat the process. A question might look something like, what is your favorite pizza topping? If you answer pineapple and no one else moves, go on ahead and pick a second card and ask and answer that question. What would you rather play, video games or play outside? If that answer rings true to others, they'll move around the space and you get to move out of the center of the circle. This is one way we like to use the question element on the junior cards.
So I want to draw your attention to the icon element of each card. Each of our ULEAD Junior cards has an icon on that card, and an activity that we like to engage in and play is icon charades. And this is done by simply breaking groups up. Make it competitive though. Let's make this competitive, make it fun, engagement, high energy. So we would have, let's say, 3 groups. They would have a stack of cards, and we want to see who can get through that stack of cards the fastest. So they would actually act out what the icon is on each card.
So another element that is exclusive to the junior deck of cards is the geometric shape, and there are 7 shapes in the deck. Great activity with this is you can hand out the cards to students, and then they have to look at the shape on the card and go and find something in the room that matches that shape. So the example here, the card that's out is the rectangle shape. So you can actually create shapes and put them up at different places in the room. There are 7 different kinds of shapes, from circles to triangles to squares and different octagons and things. It's a great way for them to get up and have fun. You can also use it to get them into different groups. So you can hand out certain numbers of cards of circles, and all the circles have to go to one place in the room and start another activity. So great for geometry, but also great for dividing them into groups. So if you're interested to hear more and learn more about ULEAD cards, we invite you to join our card club, which brings a new activity every month right into your inbox. You can also go to our website at uleadinc.org, or if you're interested in the card training, just email us at experiences@uleadinc.org.